Hi guys, I'm Russ and this is Ramon, and today we're going to show you how to replace the bench end cap on your ESB tanning bed. So when you do the end cap, you're going to need to remove the arm and the shock, and when you do, the canopy is basically going to want to drop. So we have boards placed in between the two here that are long enough to accommodate for supporting the bed when that happens. Also, when you replace the end cap, when you remove the screws all the way from the end cap, the bed tends to want to straighten out on you. So I recommend having a helper to squeeze the rails together so you can line the holes up properly before reinstalling the end cap. And if you don't have a helper, I recommend using a ratchet strap around the frame of the bed to ratchet it down just to the right distance so your holes are still lined up. But what we're going to do is we're going to start by opening up the canopy, and I'm going to remove the shock. I'm going to release it here. There we go. And then go ahead and set it down gently, please. Okay. And then I'm going to release it from the bench here. Now, I'm going to remove the arm by starting at the bolt that goes through the canopy. And this is when the canopy is going to fall. So you just want to make sure, again, it's well supported. There it goes. Now, I'm going to remove the bolt that goes into the bench. Once I remove the arm, then I'm going to have access to all of the hardware, because there's two screws hidden here. So with a cordless screwdriver and a Phillips bit, I'm going to start pulling off the hardware on the end cap. There are 4 number 8 screws here that go into the side rails, 2 per each side rail. And in the bench, you're going to have 3 of the number 10 screws. They're a little thicker, that go into these support rails in between the lamps. So I'm going to just remember to keep them separate for when I put them back in, to put them in the right spot. So here I'm going to start removing the end cap hardware. Okay, so now I can just pull the end cap away, and there it is. It's not as bad in the bench as it is in the canopy as far as the splaying out of the rails and the distances not being held, because you have more frame structure in the bed, in the bench rather. Now, when you go to replace the end cap, you're going to need to move the ball stud from the old end cap onto the new end cap. Okay, so when we go to put it back in, I'm going to start at the top hole on this side here, and you might want to take a close note to where these threaded holes are in the side rails and in the center supports here while the end cap is off, so that way you know exactly what holes you're lining the hardware up to. So here I'm going to take the number 8 screw, and I'm going to line it up to the top left hole. And I'm only just grabbing a few threads on there to start it. And then now I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. Now this is where you might need to have your helper squeeze the rails together in order to have you line up the holes all the way. Just a little bit, Ramon, and that's going to be, yep, right there. And I'm going to start it. Perfect. Okay, now he can probably let it go, and it's going to hold it right there for me. Now I'm going to start the other screw, again, making sure I'm lining it up right in the right hole, and drive it in just a few threads. Now if you come over here and do the other side rail, same thing. I'm going to line up. That helps. Yep, he's letting me see inside there a little better. And there's just a few threads. Now, you want to look into the holes and make sure, again, that you're lined up with the threaded holes that were there before. And just start a few threads. This looks good. it's very important to make sure the hardware is going into your support rails properly, because your support rails is what supports the force of you laying down on top of your acrylic. So very important. Now this last one is lined up here already. So now it's all in place. I'm going to smack it closed and make sure that also the cover is going into the bench properly in the lower lip of the end cap here. And then we're going to go ahead and secure the rest of the hardware. Okay, so now the hardware is pushed back. All we need to do is put the arm back on. There it is. So I'm going to start with the bolt that goes into the bench. Line up the holes. Tighten it down. Now the 1.5" bolt for the canopy. Okay, and then lastly the shock. Like I said, you need to, the new end cap doesn't come with a ball stud, so you would need to take the old ball stud from the old end cap and thread it onto the new one. Okay, so we'll put the shock on the canopy. There we go. And that's it.